So it's 4 o'clock and we are going to open up our Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Northwest meeting to order. We have organization of the board. Does anybody have a motion?
I have a motion. I want to nominate Tom James for chairman.
I'll second that. Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations?
How about William Jetter for treasurer?
Well, we should.
Any other nominations for chairman or president? I guess we're calling this president, aren't we?
Chairman.
Chairman, okay.
That's what you called it last year, chairman.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. We'll take a vote. All in favor of Mr. James?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I'm a no. Okay. Mr. James, I think you're taking it over.
Okay. We have other offices to fill here. So I suppose we should proceed with that. Do we have an agenda to follow, Ray? I don't actually have that in front of me if we do.
Yeah, and you need to fill the treasurer and the secretary.
Okay. Well, let me ask, is there a nominee for treasurer?
I'm going to say BJ William Jetter.
Is there a second? Got a second from Ron. Ron, your audio's
I'll
off.
second.
And Tom seconded as well.
There we go.
There we go.
Do we want the agenda on screen?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do we want the agenda on the screen?
Sure, that would help actually, if you can do that. Thank you. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations for treasurer, or should we close out nominations as to that? All right. All those in favor of Mr. Jetter as secretary?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Do I have a
Opposition
choice?
missed it. I'm sorry, what?
Do I have a choice?
You're outvoted even if you vote no. So.
I know.
All right, and then we have a secretary of the board. Is there a nominee for the secretary?
How about Ron?
And is
I'll
there a
second
second?
that.
Got a second? Okay. Any other nominations? All right, all those in favor of Ron for secretary?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Nobody opposed. Okay.
All right.
Ron, you're it. All right. And do
I
we need
got
to- you're the guy. And do we need to do an executive director here as well? Nominations for the ED. Anyone?
I think Ray's been doing it. I don't have a problem with that.
All right. Is there a
Move.
second?
I'll second that.
All right. Any other nominees for the executive director? All right. All in favor of Ray Warwick as executive director of the JEDZ Kenwood Northwest? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed?
All right. Mr. Weedman's opposed. All right. Having gotten the board organization out of the way, did we miss any officers there? I think not, did we? All right. All
Looks
right.
good. Looks good.
As to anything which might require signatures of any of the members of the board, would each of you confirm that you consent to placement of your electronic signature on that document?
I do.
Aye.
I do.
I do.
I do.
All right. We have minutes from December 3rd, 2020. Do we have a copy of those we can place up? Here we go. All right. Any comments as to the minutes, or do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Is there a
BJ.
second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of approving these minutes, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right. I'm doing this essentially by acclamation rather than a roll call. Ray, by the way, is that proper for these meetings? I suppose I should ask.
I'm not certain. I don't know why you couldn't do it by affirmation, but I don't know.
Okay,
We've done it in the past by acclamation.
I thought so. All right. All right, we've gotten past the minutes. Do we have a district update to be presented here?
I have forwarded to you the JEDZ report for 2021. You are up. The biggest reason why you're up from last year is because Mercy Health paid their income tax instead of in the month of March, but in February. So they're current. It shows you like a 61% increase over last year. But your JEDZ is performing very well, and I think we're gonna be okay this year. I was a little bit skeptical with what has happened with the COVID, but I think things are strong. As you can see that your distribution came down that 172,023.86. So you've done very well.
Very good.
Here today.
Yeah,
Any-
thank you. Thank you.
Any comments or questions from anyone?
Not for me.
All
Not for
right.
me.
None from me.
All right. Anything we need to approve as to this? I think not. This is simply a report of what's coming in, correct? So,
Right.
very good. So we need to set our next meeting date. Anybody have a calendar as to what we're looking at for that 3 months out?
June 1st.
June 1st. All right. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes.
All right. Any other business to cover, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn then?
Quick and easy. Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
guys. Thanks,
You too.
Ron. Thanks,
Take care.
BJ.
Okay, it's 4:15. We're going to open up the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Southwest District. First item on the agenda is organization of the board. Do we have a motion?
I have a motion to nominate Tom James for chairman.
Okay,
Second,
do we have any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Tom Wiedemann.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a nomination and a second. Any further discussion? If none, we will take a roll call vote. Mr. Warwick.
Mr. LaBarbera,
Mr. James,
Mr. Muthing,
Mr. Weedman,
Mr. Lammer,
Mr. Wiedemann,
Ms. Conway,
Mr. Wiedemann.
and Mr. James.
I'll vote for Mr. Weedman too. He can do it.
Mr. Weedman,
I vote for Mr. Weedman. Okay, the next item is we need a nomination for a treasurer. Do we have do we have a motion?
I nominate Mr. Larmer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second from Mr. Larmer. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Mr. Warwick, vote please.
Mr. LaBarbera,
aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Ms. Conway,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
aye.
Mr. Muthing,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye. Okay, we next have a nomination for secretary. Do we have a motion?
The motion for Mr. Muthing.
We have a
I'll
motion.
second.
Mr. Muthing, do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Any other nominees? Hearing none. Mr. Warwick.
Mr. LaBarbera,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Ms. Conway,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
Aye.
Mr. Muthing,
Aye.
and Mr. Weedman.
Aye. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of minutes from December 3rd. Everybody looked at them? Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes as submitted.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Warwick.
Mr. LaBarbera,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mrs. Conway,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
Aye.
Mr. Muthing,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye. I think we need to go back to the first item for organization of the board. I believe I was remiss in not including do we call it a director?
Executive Director,
Executive director, correct? Do we have a motion for an executive director?
I'll move that Mr. Warwick serve in that role.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mr. Warwick.
Mr. LaBarbera,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Ms. Conway,
Aye.
Mr. Larmer,
Aye.
Mr. Muthing,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye. So next is our district update. Can we get that up on the screen? Okay. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
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 Okay. Somebody want to walk through this? So let's see, we have Q4 45. So this includes the fourth quarter, correct?
That is the fourth quarter, yes.
Correct.
Yes. And do we have the annual further down here?
Yeah, Tom, if you'll allow me to share my screen, I think I've got a spreadsheet here that Kathy can talk about that's probably more illustrative.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay,
That's perfect.
okay. Are you able to see that?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay, all right. So Kathy, you want to talk about what's highlighted in yellow here and your ways of presenting it?
Yeah, from being a tax person for a lot of years, I'm used to talking about tax years instead of calendar years. I put this together both ways for those who work better with the other time frame. The fourth quarter of 2020 ended at the end of January when fourth quarter estimates were due. And in that fourth quarter, Sycamore Township received $211,788. You can look back to 2019. That is substantially better. 2019 was not a super year for us. So we're kind of headed in the right direction, which I was a little concerned about with the COVID last year. If you look at the year to date or the tax years of 19 and 20, you'll see they're almost identical. Tax year 2020, we took in about $350 more than we did in 2019. Okay. The total for 2020 calendar year ended up being $826,000, which was about $75,000 less than calendar year 2019.
So that's still pretty good considering all we've gone through.
It is very good. You've got to remember that really the JEDZ, you're looking at business accounts. Whereas if you're looking at a residential area or someplace like Amberley, you've got, or Blue Ash or whatever, you've got a variety of things. But in the JEDZ, we're looking at primarily businesses, and businesses were hurt with the COVID. A lot of businesses were closed, so that the fact that we managed to keep it where it is, I think, is really good.
Does Amberley reciprocate?
Yes.
Yes, you do. So,
Yes, we do.
I mean, are you on top of this legislation where they want to, I think Sites has been quarterbacking it, where they want to withhold taking out any earnings tax, local earnings tax for people who are working from home?
It depends on the community, whether it's good or bad. It would probably be in Amberley's best interest if we could collect from our residents, because we've got a lot of residents that work in the city of Cincinnati. But it would be very detrimental to the city of Cincinnati because they're really dependent on that money. So,
and frankly, it would be detrimental to our JEDZ and Sycamore Township as well.
Right, right.
Mr. Weedham, there's another factor that's in play here, and that is in regards to the sales tax that was approved for the entire Hamilton County for SORTA. Cincinnati's rate has dropped, and so that's going to have an effect on Amberley as well. So there's a couple of different things in play there.
Okay.
And there's really two things. There's withholding, and then there's income tax. I mean, in the case of Amberley, if communities did not withhold for people who work from home, but normally are from Cincinnati, when they file their tax return, they would have to file that, pay those taxes.
Yes,
They
and they would pay it to Amberley instead of Cincinnati, correct?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, so that could be beneficial to Amberley, actually.
There would be definitely a timing if you didn't have withholding versus the payment upon filing the return.
Right. Okay. Anybody have any questions about the report?
I mean, it's not specifically about the report, but I haven't been by Kenwood and Montgomery real recently. Is Bank of America in their building?
Yes.
They
Yes,
are,
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah, it's a nice looking place. Yeah.
Kathy, we need to make sure we follow up with those businesses that have gone into that building to make sure that they are aware of what they need to do.
Okay, I'll be sure to mention that to Jenny. He's
I think
pretty
the
much
B
on
of A
top
is
of
going to be
that,
on the
so.
bottom, and I believe Merrill Lynch may have an office, some small office on the top as well.
That report we were just looking at, I don't know if one of you had emailed that to Ray already, but could you distribute that to the group? If not, so we could see that. Spreadsheet's preferable to a PDF, but whatever's most convenient for you.
Mr.
So,
James, I will get that out to all the board members. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, comments? If not, the date of the next meeting is, did we say June 3rd?
June
June
1st.
1st.
June 1st
And
at 4:15.
can we ask for electronic signatures? Really, we just need Mr. Muthing's permission to sign the minutes electronically.
I grant you my approval to use my electronic signature.
Okay.
Do you need, I mean, I'm glad to give that motion for the next 6 months, and you won't have to do it at every meeting.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. If not, we will take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I second.
Okay. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Good seeing you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. See you, Scott.
See ya.
It is now 4:30 and we are going to begin our Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood East meeting, bring it to order. The first item on the agenda is organization. Good morning, Ken, or afternoon, Ken. Organization of the board.
I nominate,
Motion for-
I'll make a
for a-
motion to nominate Tom Weedman.
I'm going to
There's a
second
motion-
that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any other nominations? Hearing none. Mr. Warwick.
You're muted.
I think he said Mr. LaBarbera, though. I read his lips. Yes, aye. Aye.
Mr. Bourne,
Aye.
Mr. James,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye. The next item is approval.
And
of
we are,
electronic-
I'm sorry, we're missing a few
sorry, you're
members
right.
here.
We need to nominate a treasurer.
We're-
Is there a motion?
May I interject and just note, we're missing a few members here and we should note that for the record as well, but I assume we still have a quorum.
We do have a
Yes.
quorum. We do have a quorum, and I believe city council is currently on a Zoom in Madeira right now, perhaps, and so that might be the issue.
Yep, Mr. Mueller will not be able to make it, and I believe Mr. Staubach as well.
However, we still do have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is a motion, we need a motion for a treasurer. Do we have a motion?
I'm going to nominate Mr. Mueller because he's not here to say no.
I'll
Okay.
second that. I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further nominations? Hearing none. I believe we can do this by voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. We also need a secretary. Do we have a motion for a secretary?
I
nominate-
nominate Tom Jones.
And I decline.
I'll nominate Rick Staubach.
I'll second that.
Rick Staubach. Motion and a second. Any other nominations? Hearing none. All in favor of Rick, of Rick Staubach?
Aye.
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
Aye, okay. The ayes have it. Next item is for executive director. Do we have a motion?
I nominate Ray Warwick for that position.
And I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Any other nominees? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Next item is on the agenda is a district update.
You want to do the approval of electronic signatures?
I'm sorry, excuse me. We're going to do approval of electronic signatures and also minutes. Next item is the approval of electronic signatures. We don't have Staubach here to agree to it, but I guess maybe Ray can get a hold of him and just give his approval, because I think that's who we need. Is that right, Secretary?
Yeah. And then if not, I'll take it over and he can sign it.
Okay, perfect. Next item is approval of minutes from December 3rd. Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the minutes from December 3rd.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next item is district update, which you should see on the screen here.
Now, what they put up is February. Do you also have the end of year, December 2020?
Ray, that's all that Tom Moeller sent.
Okay.
Yep,
For
sorry.
the, for the year, yeah, they didn't send it over, but I pulled it up. This particular JED is down about 4% overall, which is $94,659.09, down from 2019.
That's off of what was a total for the year?
The total for this year was $2,387,900. $312,177.14.
That's for 2020.
Yes, and in 2019, it collected $2,406,836.23.
So all things considered, it's still doing pretty good.
Not too bad, considering the year 2020 was.
Yes.
And we'll find out in the next JED meeting that the central JED made up for that loss and then some.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions regarding the update?
But we still did over 2 million, so that's good. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, if there's no other questions on the district update, the date of the next meeting is scheduled for June 1st at 4:30 PM. And if there are no other, no other business to attend to, we'll take a motion to adjourn out of the JEDZ Kenwood East District.
I move we adjourn.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned and we will start our next one in 8 minutes.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Okay, it is 4:45. We are going to call the Sycamore Township JEDZ Kenwood Central meeting to order. First item on the agenda is organization of the board. Do we have a motion?
I move we appoint Mr. Weedman as the president.
We have a
Mr.
motion.
LaBarber, you are on mute.
What's that?
And I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any other nominees? Hearing none. All in favor of Mr. Weedman for chairman, vote aye.
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 You
Aye.
betcha.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is the treasurer position. Do we have a motion for treasurer?
Tom Moeller, Tom Moeller for treasurer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of Mr. Moeller?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Mr. Moeller is currently our new treasurer. And we need a motion for secretary. Do we have a motion for secretary?
Mr. Staubach.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second from Mr. Staubach. Any other nominees? Hearing none. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, all opposed. Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is approval of electronic signatures. I think this will qualify the same, that we need to get a hold of Mr. Staubach to ensure that he approves electronic signatures. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes from December 3rd, 2020. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve the minutes from December 3rd, 2020.
We have a
Second.
motion. We have a second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any questions? If not,
Mr. Weedman, do we
Yes.
need a vote on executive director?
I'm sorry, we do. Thank you. I did not have that on my note here. We need a vote for an executive director. Do we have a motion?
I move we appoint Mr. Warwick as executive director.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any other nominees? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda, approval of minutes from December 3rd, 2020. I think we did have a motion, didn't we?
We did.
Mr. James and Mr. Bourne seconded, I believe. Any further discussion? Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? The minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is a district update.
I think all we have is the February one in the packet. I have the year-end one. And in this particular JED, the central JED, collections for this year were $2,858,448.14. That's more than 2019 when we collected $2,684,262.55. That's an increase of $174,185.59.
Wow.
About 6.5%. So when you look at this east and central combined, it is a net gain.
That's excellent.
That's just amazing.
That's excellent. What we have in the central, of course, is the Kenwood Town Center and the collection. And while the collection offices are full, the collection retail has been hurt a little bit. And so that continues to surprise me, especially we are coming off the fourth quarter. So, I mean, we probably do. How did it compare fourth quarter this year to last year, Ray?
I don't have a quarterly report. I'd have to put that together for you, but I can.
Do you have the December number there in front of you then? Just December to December?
Yeah, I do have that. We collected 283,490 this December, and that's better than last year when we collected 237,257.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
Better.
20% better or so.
I can absolutely not explain that, but that's good. That's excellent.
Especially with Amazon and all this stuff going on. It's incredible.
Overall, the mall told me they were at about 85% of last year. However, the major high-end retailers were all up.
Well, that is definitely good news. Okay, anything else on the district update? If not, our next meeting is scheduled for June 1st at 1:45. And if there is no other business, we will take a motion to adjourn.
I think you said 1:45, 4:45, correct?
Excuse me, 4:45, I'm sorry.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion, we have a second.
You said Tuesday the 1st, correct? So we're
Correct.
moving to Tuesdays from
Yep.
past history.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
Tuesday the 1st, 4:45.
sounds
We have a
good.
second to adjourn.
Second,
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Quick
guys.
question, although we're adjourned. Ken, is that going to conflict with Madeira City Council meetings going forward?
I don't think so. Normally, we don't have, well, let me rephrase that. In the old days when I was on council, you didn't do anything on Tuesdays generally. If it was a committee meeting, it was generally 5, 6, 7 at night.
Okay.
Having anything at 4 in the afternoon is kind of unusual for a city council
Mhm.
item.
Okay, good.
I will double check with Tom on that as well.
Thanks. Okay,
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
thanks. See most of you later.